Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome back to my channel. Unless you've never been here, of course, then welcome. I'm so glad you've stopped by. Because today we are reviewing the Lunar Beauty Strawberry Dreams palette. I know what you're thinking. This came out like 10 million years ago. I also got it when it came out 10 million years ago. But then other things also came out. And I continued to review those things, which means that I didn't continue to review this. So now it's time to review this palette also. For you and for me. As you know, I already have filmed my Lunar Beauty Moon Spell palette. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it in a card right up here so you can check it out. And if you didn't know that I filmed that review, you do now. And that review was the first time that I tried Manny MUA's formula, Lunar Beauty's formula in their palettes, and I was pleasantly surprised. Not that I expected it to be bad, it was just really good. So that made me want to even more dig into this Strawberry Dreams palette because I heard many good things about it whenever it did release. So let's see if those good things were true. That being said, if you want to see what this palette is like, what its swatch is like, what it feels like, what it goes on like, then stay exactly where you are, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and keep on watching. Okay guys, let's get the 411 down low on the Lunar Beauty Strawberry Dreams palette. I don't remember where I ordered this from, honestly. I did order it whenever it first released, so I probably got it from the Lunar Beauty website. But it is available from Morphe and I think also Sephora. I could be wrong on Sephora because I'm pretty sure it is limited edition, but it might not be. But either way, I'm gonna read the details from the Lunar Beauty website for this palette to let you know a little bit of information about it. So like I said, this is the Strawberry Dream Color Palette is what it's actually called. It's not eyeshadow palette, it is color palette. That is because it is made up of pressed pigments, which are not technically eye safe because they can stain and there could be potential allergic reactions, so just know that. And this palette was $48 or 4 interest-free payments of $12 using Afterpay on the Lunar Beauty website if eligible. The description for this palette says, unique 15-shade color palette inspired by the strawberry skies can take you from soft to sultry with a colorful combination of mattes and shimmers. Has a delicious, subtle strawberry scent. Yum! I love strawberry. Strawberry and watermelon are just about, and blueberry are just about my favorites. I think watermelon would be first, then strawberry next, then blueberry third. As you see here, the unit carton is beautiful. This is so beautiful. I love this. I love these pink blushy tones, strawberry tones, if you will, with the clouds and the sky and the little metallic reflective stars all over it. It's just, it's so beautiful. It makes my heart happy. And then if we flip it over, it has the ingredients list. Also shows it's good for 12 months after opened. I'm still good. That it's cruelty free, and it gives you the link to Lunar Beauty, Lunar Beauty's Instagram, and Manny's YouTube channel. If you didn't know, Lunar Beauty is a cosmetic company started by the YouTuber slash influencer slash content creator Manny MUA. If I remember, which I think I will because I'm gonna remind myself right now in this video while I'm editing, I'm gonna link his channel and the Lunar Beauty website down below so that you can check them out if you'd like. Also, the palette up at the top says, this is for all the dreamers out there inspired by the night sky like me. With this 15-shade color palette, you can go soft to sultry. Sweet dreams. Oh. And then below that it says that same thing in another language and has Manny MUA heart, which I'm assuming is his signature at the bottom. I can't read that. Is that French? It seems like a romantic language. Now let's open it up. Show me what you're working with. I want to open it a little more carefully. My nails can't really get in there. Okay. If we take the palette out, here we have the front of it. This is also very beautiful. It looks just like the unit carton, except on the front of this, the words are replaced with this moon. The moon is actually holographic, so you can see a rainbow. Yeah, there you go. You can see the rainbow in it. And it is raised. It's not just a flat moon. You can see that it has a little bit of texture to it, a little bit of raise, and it's also textured with little bumps and dots and things. I don't see a man on the moon though, and I usually see a man on the moon. But anyway, it doesn't have to be true to life, it just needs to be beautiful, and it is. He did succeed in making it beautiful packaging. It also has the little stars, and I think it's the same exact picture, honestly. Then if we flip it over, It also has a Strawberry Sky on the back with the same social media links and the net weight being 0.6 ounces and 17.1 grams. And we flip it back over and let's open it. It does have the little plastic sheet and it is also a magnetic closure. Now we have the palette. Oh, that blue, oh my gosh. Wow, oh, there's little moons pressed in the middle row. That is so cute. Wow, this is beautiful. Blue diamond, I'm glad I didn't like tip this over all the way because blue diamond is actually not all the way in the pan. And it looks like it's either crushed to one side or maybe shrunken, I don't know. But it looks like it's gonna be a really soft shade that I can repress, so I'm gonna repress it. But regardless of that one being kind of messed up, these are all the shades, and this is a beautiful, beautiful color story.
What a beautiful, beautiful color story. What a beautiful chocolate man.
The shade Horizon threw me for a second, but then I realized that it was like a sun color. I could see that. And it's also got a very nice sized mirror. I like that. Okay, well now that we have seen what the palette looks like, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in and we're gonna see what the swatches look like. First is the shade Blue Diamond. This pressed back so easily. It's such a soft, shimmery shade. And it's so beautiful. Wow, literally so beautiful. Probably kind of hard to see on camera, but it's, you'll see, don't worry. Next is the shade Sweet Dream. Then Ruby Skies. Then the shade Horizon. Then the shade Nightfall. And before I break into it, I've just got to show you what these presses look like. The moon with the stars is so cute. I really don't want to destroy it, but I have to for the greater good of swatching. I just want to show you really quick. Next is a shade Cloudy. Then the shade Skyline. The shade Sunrise. Sunset. Then the shade Strawberry Moon. Next is the shade Lightning. Wow. Then the shade Pink Flash. The shade Blue Sky. That is one of the most beautiful blues I have ever seen. Then the shade Haze. Hello, handsome.
I'm home.
Okay.
What did you get fried Oreos for?
Myself and you.
I had one of them. I wasn't gonna eat all of them.
You can eat them all. I got 6 and I ate 3.
Okay. Alright, I love you.
Love you, babe. And last but not least, the shade Storm Cloud. Okay, and that is it for the swatches for the Lunar Beauty Strawberry Dream color palette. And of course, as always, I will leave photos of the swatches, one with flash here, and one without flash here. Now I went ahead and primed my eye. Based on the swatches, it does look like Ruby Skies, Pink Flash, and Storm Cloud are the stainers of the bunch. Those are the swatches that actually left a pink stain on my arm. That's not to say how they're gonna stain on my eye, because I have a base down, as you can see, on my eye, but we shall find out eventually. First things first, peely time.
Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Now, as you can see, my base is down already. I know, it's so weird. I did my face makeup earlier and I went live on Instagram with my friend Danielle and she wanted to do her makeup and I figured why not do my face makeup while she's doing her whole face makeup so that I could get ready to film this review for you guys. So I did. That just means that I'm gonna have to be a little more careful and more conscientious of the fallout just in case there is any. So I am gonna go ahead and put some powder down on my under eye just in case so I can wipe it away if there is any. Now I'm first gonna take my Morphe M456 and I'm gonna go into the shade Pink Flash and I'm gonna start to build this up right in my inner corner. Usually I work the other direction and I work from the outer corner inward, but let's change it up. Let's be different today. Now normally I wouldn't be tapping off the excess from my brush, especially since I'm going into a bright pressed pigment, but again, the fallout. I want to be really, really careful and, like I said, conscientious of the fallout. Pressed pigments aren't necessarily known for their cleanliness. I would say that shade packs a punch. What about you? That's pretty bright. And I'm just starting to take this up through my crease area, right above it really, so that whenever I'm looking straight at you, it will be the color that shows up right in that inner corner. And now I'm going to take the Morphe M514. This is a fluffy blending brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Sunset. Wow, a lot of kickback. Like that just crumbles apart. Which usually means it's gonna be pigmented, but also means there's probably gonna be a lot of fallout. And I'm just gonna take this shade and start to pack it right here in the middle of my crease area. No blending yet, because I first want to establish that depth of color. And I'm taking the shade Sunset just a slight bit higher than the shade Pink Flash, because I want it to be the shade that carries that pink up through the crease. And now, with the Morphe M433, which is the bigger, fluffier version of its little brother Morphe M456, the one that I started with, I'm gonna go into the shade Strawberry Moon. And with this shade, I'm going to start packing this on my outer crease area. And with this shade, I'm using it to kind of elongate the outer edge of my eye. Like that. And kind of give me that pulled back effect, just following my natural brow line. Well, they're drawn on, that's not completely natural, but because I want to kind of wing out Strawberry Moon on this outer corner, just a little bit. Like that much. Not any more than that, really. And now I'm just going to finesse between each of those shades until I get a nice smooth gradient between all three. Using my Morphe M506 little tiny blending brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Cloudy now, and I'm gonna start building this shade up all around this bright pink, red, purple stuff that I have going on. And I'm gonna start eventually blending the edges of those bright shades in with this shade. I'm essentially gonna use it as my transition shade after the fact. I just need it to be built up all around those shades first. That way, instead of trying to blend those shades directly on my skin, they'll be blending into another powder instead of an eyeshadow base. I just don't want them to be as sticky and drag or get stuck. Honestly, I could have even used a smaller brush for this, but that's okay. I've already started. I can make it work. Okay, awesome. The shade Cloudy is now built up all around the bright shades, so I'm gonna start using the same brush and just making small circular motions all around these edges. And see how that's just slowly starting to diffuse that edge and make it a lot more soft instead of being such a hardcore line? That's my goal here. Just rather than trying to blend Pink Flash outward, I'm more so blending Cloudy inward on top of Pink Flash, because I want that lighter, more neutral pink tone to be the brunt of the color because it looks more skin-like for me. It's a softer blend. That is literally taking forever to blend out. It's working, but it's taking a really long time. Okay, that's pretty much one shade down. Now, 2 more shades to go. I have now blended out the shade Cloudy completely, and as you can obviously tell, I went ahead and duplicated what I did on the first eye to the other eye. So now we have Pink Flash in both inner corners, Sunset in the middle of both eyes, and Strawberry Moon in the outer crease area of both sides. And both sides have sort of that winged out effect, and the outside edges of the shades are diffused just a little bit, but I still wanted to make it obvious enough that the shades were different and they kind of flow into each other. And now I'm gonna go ahead and use my Makeup Revolution cut crease canvas and cut my crease. And for this, as always, pretty much, I'm gonna use my Sigma E62 cut crease brush. This is just the perfect cut crease brush. And I'm not gonna do a full cut crease, it's just gonna be a quarter cut crease. And I'm just gonna cut out the inner corner area. Oh, by the way, I wanted to tell you guys too, there was literally 0 fallout on the other side. I forgot to put powder down, and whenever I finished, I was like, oh no, I forgot to put powder down. But it didn't matter because there was no fallout. But just thought I'd let you know because that was pretty amazing. Okay, that side is cut. We're cutting our crease in a moon shape for the Strawberry Dream palette. I thought that was gonna have moon in it. That wasn't as dramatic as I wanted it to be. So apparently we're gonna make that more of a 3/4 cut crease rather than a quarter cut crease, but that's fine because as long as the crease is cut, I'm happy. We are now going to take the teeny tiny Morphe M326 and go into the shade Blue Sky, and I'm gonna start packing that right in that inner corner. Now that's about as far as I want to take the shade Blue Sky within the inner corner. So now using the Morphe M124 flat packing brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Haze. Now normally for colors like this, I would be using a blending brush or like a diffusing brush, but since I'm packing it on to a cut crease, I want the edges to be sharp, and these help a lot on making those sharp edges. So that's why I'm not using a blending brush at the moment, but for the next shade, I will be going with a blending brush again. The shade Haze is built up in the center of my lid, so now I'm gonna go back in with Blue Sky on the same Morphe M326 little tiny brush, and I'm just gonna lightly take this shade and kind of work it into the shade Haze just to make sure that there's a smooth gradient between both shades. And that's kind of my, not really trick, but like my method of how I work with pressed pigments. I always like to pack them on and saturate them in the area that I want them to be the most pigmented. Then I go around the edges and do all of my blending work after that. And thus far, these pigments all work beautifully. There's literally no problem I've had out of any of them. They really performed just like the Moonspell palette that I previously reviewed from Lunar Beauty. Feels like the same type of formula. They're very good pigments, and you can feel while working with them that they're good quality. So far I'm highly satisfied with the pigmentation level and the way that they blend and apply. The only thing I'm kind of sad about right now is the shade Blue Sky applied onto a tacky base right in the center of my eye, like right in the inner corner of my eye. It's a slight bit deeper than it is as I start to go outward, and that's only because the base was tackier when I first started and I started in the center. Then it got drier as I worked my way outward, so it became brighter since it was going on a drier base. Not a fault of the shadow per se, just something I've noticed. And now for my final trick, I'm gonna use the Morphe M513 bigger fluffy blending brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Storm Cloud. I'm essentially going to try and use this shade as my transition shade between Haze and Strawberry Moon. Strawberry Moon seems like a more warm toned purple, and Storm Cloud is more of a cool toned purple. But since we're trying to bring a red and a blue together, we need a purple to get them there, and I'm hoping this is gonna do the trick. We'll find out, because if it doesn't, I really don't know what else I'm gonna do. And I'm just trying to pack this on onto my outer V. This shade is pressed really, really hard. It's almost looking like a black. And I'm just gonna take this upward a tiny little bit because I want it to blend into Strawberry Moon. Well, it looked like that actually worked pretty well. I really, really like that. I am gonna take just a little bit more of the shade Haze and work that back into Storm Cloud just a little bit. I just wanna be careful and not take Storm Cloud up too far because I don't want it to take over and be too dark and muddy. Okay, I'm noticing now that Haze is starting to get a little bit patchy, and I think it's because I keep going over it over and over again, so I'm starting to like pick up and move around the base. So I'm gonna stop going over the shade Haze. I'm just gonna leave it as is because I still have another shade I'm gonna go in with. So I need to stop manipulating it as much. And now, the piece de resistance. I'm gonna go into the shade Blue Diamond, and I'm gonna put that all over the center of my lid. I don't know if it's gonna work because the blue started pulling up because I was over blending it. Now I'm gonna add something else on top of it, so we'll find out. I don't really know what to use for this. I'm gonna try just to use a small packing brush. If that doesn't work, I'll go in with my pinky. So I'm going to attempt to use the Morphe M204 small packing brush. This is actually what I meant to use with the shade Haze. Too little, too late. There's only a tiny bit on there. I don't think this is gonna work with a brush, but that's gorgeous. It's so pretty. I mean, I don't think it's really working with the brush, but it's so pretty. Even just the tiny bit that did apply. Okay, time to go with the pinky. It's so soft, the brush left tiny little brush strokes in it. Oh, I picked up way too much, and I barely touched that. Ugh. I think it being broken doesn't really help either. Okay, what I'm gonna do since I have too much is I'm gonna get my mirror up here, and I am going to squish my pinkies together so that I have that shade on both. And now I'll take it on both fingers on both eyes. What I love about this shade is it transforms whatever shade you put it on top of. Now I definitely need to clean this up a bit. That's kind of a little crazy, so I'm gonna take just a clean Morphe M562 long skinny blending brush. I just feel like I can get really precise with this and just go around the edges and see if I can knock off some of this excess glitter. Oh no, you can't. All you can do is really blend it in. Oh, but it's so pretty. It is so pretty. Oh. Okay, if you guys ever work with the shade Blue Diamond, I would strongly suggest using some type of glitter glue or maybe spraying your brush because it gets everywhere. It is definitely more like a glitter than it is a shadow. Or maybe it's because mine was jolted to the side and kind of broken. I don't know. It could be anything at this point. I just know that 100% it goes everywhere if you let it. So now I'm gonna do the best that I can to try and just clean up the edges of this. It's still truly absolutely beautiful and I love it. I just wanna kind of clean it up and make it even better, you know? Never mind. There is literally nothing I can do. I'm not gonna touch it anymore. It is how it is, what it is. It's just going to exist exactly as is, and I'm okay with that. Since we don't need to take a commercial break and let me finish my face off camera, we can go ahead and move into the under eyes. I'm now going to take my Morphe M222 brush and go into the shade Skyline. I haven't used this shade yet, and I thought it would be a nice touch. Maybe I'll regret it, maybe I won't. And I'm also going to take the Morphe M416, a little tiny flat packing brush. I think it's an inner corner highlight brush actually. And I'm gonna go into the shade Lightning, and we're gonna put that right in the inner corner on the lower lash line. Okay, and that's the inner corner done as well. I'm really excited about this look. I'm really excited about this palette. I didn't expect this was gonna be the look that came out of this palette. I thought it was gonna be a lot more pink or like only pink, but it's definitely more along the lines of shimmery, shiny happiness than I thought it was gonna be. If that made any sense at all. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera. I'm gonna put a liner in my lower lash line, maybe do a wing, maybe not, I'm not sure yet, and throw on a lash and some mascara, and I will be right back with the final look. All of the finishing touches have now been completed and this look is finally done. So what do you guys think? Do you like it? I actually really like it. I also added a little bit of the shade Blue Diamond on my lips. I thought it would be a nice lip topper and sure enough, it is. It kind of tied the lips and the eye together a little bit more. I think they would have tied together just enough anyway because the lip was kind of a perfect match for the pink in the eyeshadow palette, but it added that little wablam that I wanted, you know? So, when it comes to the Lunar Beauty Strawberry Dreams palette, I've gotta definitely give this a recommend. I mean, look at this! And this is one look. There are so many more looks I can do with this. I feel like this type of look can even fall into fall. Like fall into autumn. It's a little bright for autumn, but it deepened it up with that deep purple on the outer crease and the outer lid. That outer area, it really deepened it up and made it a little more toward fall. So I really like that. It's a pretty versatile palette. It doesn't only have to be a summer palette, and I like that. I also enjoy the fact that there are plenty of neutrals in here to fit the needs of those neutral lovers that only want to work with neutrals. Plus, there's a couple of pops of color that you can work with if you're feeling adventurous that day. I mean, who knows? You might want neutral on the top and a little pop of color on the lower lash line. You never know. But for sure, I definitely love this palette. I love the quality of the shadows. I love the way they blend. I love the way the foiled shades are. I'm excited to see more of the capability of the shimmers in the palette because I only really got to experience one of the shimmers. The glitter on the lid and the lips is obviously a whole different scenario. It's not quite a shimmer, but the little bit of shimmer that I did use on my lower lash line in the inner corner was very satisfying. So that is the review on this palette. I hope you guys enjoyed the video just as much as I did creating this look and filming the video for you. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. It does let me know that you like this type of content, and it also lets other people find my content based on you letting them know that you liked it. And to whomever that one person giving me a thumbs down every video is, I love you. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Also, if you guys want to see this look and more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, please at least gain this, and that is to always remember and to never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. Even you, person who keeps thumbs downing my videos. I love you guys. Bye.